Alrighty boys, in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 video games that everyone should be enjoying right now because they are in the best state that they have ever been currently. Now, I will say that everybody has different, opinions on these games. This is just my opinion. There are other games that, could contend for must-play games for this year, but these are just the ones that I personally am really enjoying. Now, if you're into action-packed, engaging, and just fun gameplay, then stick around. This video is for you. And yeah, you can be sure that there will be one of these 3 games that will be for you because they offer different things such as mythology, sci-fi, high fast-paced combat, and yeah, everything in between. These are very different games, but at the same time, they all are amazing in their own right. We are going to start off the list with number 1 now. First off, we have a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, of course. If you saw the thumbnail, you already knew this was coming. There isn't that much to say, right? It has absolutely shattered records when it comes to anime fighters. An insane amount of people are online. An insane amount of people bought like the Ultimate Edition and everything for early access, including myself. And yeah, this game, it just taps into that nostalgia from the Budokai series on PlayStation 2. It offers the fast game action that fans of Dragon Ball crave in general. And obviously, if you're a fan of the series or the manga, you will definitely be into this, right? So why is this a game that you should be playing right now? Well, first of all, this is the moment where people are playing this game mostly, right? This is probably the most alive that the game is going to be, like in ever. Um, Second reason as well is that besides the gameplay, as you can see here, this is one of my ranked matches. Besides the gameplay being super in-depth and just genuinely a lot of fun, there's also a gigantic roster of characters. There's like 182 unlockable characters right now, and there is confirmed to be 20 plus DLC characters coming in 2025. So at the end of the day, and that is just the first batch of DLC, right? Who knows? There might be more down the line. We don't know. But basically, with what we know now, the game is going to end up with well over 200 characters to play as, which is pretty damn nice. I also think that the sparking mode is very cool. It's a very nice addition, very OP. Can't wait for that first patch to hit. But yeah, overall the game has like I guess some small issues, right, that you can nitpick, but that's the case with every fighter. But the game is really really good in general, and people are really enjoying it. The netcode also is amazing. I don't know anyone who really has issues with the netcode. Um, the game is great. The game is great in every aspect. So if you're into anime fighters or fighting games in general, then this game is obviously for you. If you haven't purchased it yet, consider this your sign to do so, because this game is super worth it at the end of the day. Next up, boys, is Hades 2, the perfect mythological roguelike. Now, this game, if you love, Hades 1, or if you love Diablo-focused gameplay, and also roguelikes and roguelites, then this is the game for you. You can see my gameplay here from the new area. This update launched just yesterday, which, by the way, brings us to why should you play this game right now? Well, because it's simply in the best state that it's ever been so far. It's still in early access, which, means it's still unfinished, which is a good thing, because there's already a ton of content in this game, and the fact that it's still in early access means that it will only get better and even more content will be added in the coming months. Now, Hades 2 is a very exciting game because of the buzz of the first game. Um, you can also make a ton of different builds. You can play with a ton of different weapons, a ton of different card setups, which are basically your passives for runs. Um, the gameplay itself is very smooth, very awesome. The art style even better than the first game. Um, each run is of course a bit randomized, so this is definitely for roguelike fans, where Dragon Ball is more for arena fighter fans. That is where that comes in. Yeah, what else is there to say, man? This game is just great. You have to go and experience it for yourself. Don't be afraid of the fact that it's in early access because it already has more areas and more content than Hades 1, even though Hades 1 is finished. So it's an amazing game. Don't worry about that. It has tons of story already, almost finished, and it has a ton of different weapons. It's just missing the final aspects currently. But with this update yesterday, we literally got a new weapon with two other forms of it. So there's enough new stuff to get into if you perhaps already tried the game out, but you were waiting for more stuff. So there you go. Let's move on to the final game that I want to go ahead and talk about. So here we have Robo Quest. This is a fast-paced roguelike. Now, this game is also amazing for people who are obviously into roguelikes slash roguelites, just like with Hades 2. But I would say that this game leans more towards people who are into first-person shooters. This game is super fast-paced, especially the better you get at it, the more passives you unlock and stuff, and just the better you have an understanding of your guns, because this is where the roguelite aspect comes into play, where you have these uh, randomly generated maps and enemies that you encounter, but also a linear story. So for those who don't like stuff that is too random, there you have it. Now as you can see there on screen, I got an upgrade, which means that I leveled up and you can choose a passive. That is how the progression in the game works. You basically collect the XP by killing things, and you level up to get stronger as you go through a run. Now, what's very amazing about this game, in my opinion, is that there are, I think, 6 classes in total that you can play with. Once you unlock them, they all have their own thing going on, and they all work with a certain weapon type a little bit better, in my opinion, than others. For example, the Guardian class that you start off with is a very short-ranged focus class. He can literally punch enemies in the face, and he has a shield that you can activate. So what works best for him is like shotguns, for example, that sort of stuff. There's different classes. There's a lot of different guns that also can have burn, ice, electricity on them. It's all randomized as well during a run. So this is a great, great game if you love fast-paced combat and if you love shooters, because it's amazing. It gives me an adrenaline rush every single time I play. Alrighty boys, that concludes our video here. Please let me know in the comments if you play any of these 3 games or if you are going to, and let me know what games that you are enjoying most this year or looking forward to mostly for them to still be released this year or even early 2025. Basically, I think gaming is in a really nice spot right now, so let me know what you think. This little gamer in the background is a fan-made game, by the way. It's Zelda Dungeons of Infinity, for anyone that was wondering. And yeah, I would very much appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I will see you boys in my next video. Peace.
It's over. Say goodnight! Can't be!